We're talking about the NFC East and the NFC Beast because it is two great teams, two really bad teams, and two of those teams played this week, Casino. Eagles at Cowboys. Casino wins an extra point this week in our picks for blowout of the week because the Eagles absolutely annihilated the Cowboys 34-6. Philadelphia is now 7-2 with the Thursday night game obviously being against the Commanders, but I went through their schedule on Sunday, so I won't do it again. But all I'm saying is they have some tough games coming up that are on the road where they play the Ravens, they play obviously the Commanders, and then, but other than that, if they can just beat the Commanders once and then either beat Ravens or Steelers, Ravens on the road, which is a game I think they'll lose, and then Steelers at home, which is a game I think they win. This is potentially a 12-win team going into the playoffs.
Right. So quick, just to touch on, I don't know, I can't find the stat, but I just want to say this. This is just another reason why Tom Brady's the GOAT. Is out of 29 games where Brady threw for over 50 or 50 attempts, he won 19 of them.
Over 20?
So 29 games played where he threw over 50 or 50 attempts, right? 29 games where he threw over 50 passes, and he won 19 of those games.
Jesus.
And then the next person is Warren Moon. He played 8 games and he won 5.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you have like Dan Marino, Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, but those are all just a couple. That's it. And and Peyton Manning, 17 games played, throwing over 50, and he only won 4 of those. So,
well, that also kind of
stats are not pretty. The stats are not pretty here.
Yeah,
that
that proves the point I was making, which is
exactly.
when your quarterback throws over 50 times, unless you're Tom Brady, you lose. You lose the game. But in this game, Hurts only threw 20 attempts. He was 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Saquon was 14 for 66. AJ Brown had over 100 yards, but I already talked about this game at length on Sunday's show. So if you want to listen to that, go listen to the solo Sunday show. But basically the discussion I want to have, because obviously Eagles are going to the playoffs. Their seeding entirely depends on the 2 games against the Commanders. The first one coming up on Thursday, which we'll talk about Thursday. But then when it comes to the Cowboys, Casino, as much as you and I like to talk shit on Dak Prescott, when the Cowboys have anybody else at quarterback but Dak Prescott, they can't move the ball. I mean, Cooper Rush in this game.
Dak's a decent quarterback.
13 for 23, 45 yards. He completed 13 passes for 45 yards. And then Trey Lance comes in, 4 for 6, 21 yards, and just an abysmal interception he threw into basically triple coverage. So,
man, did the Niners luck out with his injury and got Purdy up there. Oh, man.
I mean, the Cowboys, I made the case on Sunday. I think the Cowboys and Giants are the 2 worst teams in the entire league. I think you can really make that case.
Panthers are bad, bro.
But the Panthers beat the Giants.
The Panthers are bad. Okay, the Browns. Well,
yeah,
then the Browns just beat the Ravens, so.
Well, on the Browns, would you rather have Jameis Winston, Cooper Rush, Daniel Jones, or Bryce Young?
You're right, Jameis Winston.
Yeah. So I really think you can make the case that the Cowboys at 3-6 and the Giants, at 2-8, are the 2 worst teams in the league.
But I didn't know if you know this or not, but the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, well, that was another thing. Like when we were doing the breakdown, Giants are 2-8. When we were doing the breakdowns at the beginning of the season, Cowboys, again, another team that was picked to win the NFC East, and it was like they're worse than any Dak or McCarthy team they've ever had. They have the worst running back room in the league. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, they might have the worst wide receiver group in the league. Their offensive line is not as good as it's been in the past, and their defense is just a bunch of stars at certain positions, but not any good depth pieces whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, the only reason the Cowboys were potentially in this game for like a quarter and a half was Hurts did what annoys me the most about Hurts, which is he fumbled and had an interception within the span of like 5 minutes, which is the Hurts special, where he just decides to
Are you
throw
over
up.
him?
Huh? No, no. I still think because after that he played basically a perfect game. But the first quarter, I was like, "Oh no, please don't be another game. Please don't be another one of those games." But on the season, I mean, he has 12 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 10 rushing touchdowns, and then 6 fumbles. Only four of them lost. So basically, he has what 22 touchdowns and 9 turnovers. So not bad. Not bad at all. And Hurts, again, when he gets all his pieces back and when he's actually uh not doing dumb shit, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. Now let's move on to your second favorite team, Casino, the Commanders. And we mentioned it in the beginning. The Steelers win 28-27. The Steelers are now 7-2, Commanders 7-3. This game, however, ends on controversy. Do you think Ertz had the first down?
I do. I
I
think
did
he got
too.
the I because he caught it and the ball was across that line. He was clear he caught it. Um,
It
and
was
I
clear
thought
he
that
had forward momentum and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
He had I thought that's how he always what's supposed to be is where the ball was caught at if forward progress was stopped. And yeah, like it's not like he caught it and then like he turned and tried to go, you know, and then he got stopped. And no, he caught it and immediately got stuck, but it should have been there. Like again, I really think that the Commanders won this game, but good for the Steelers. They're still a good team.
Yeah. I made the case they might be the best team that nobody's talking about just because of how.
I think that's the Chargers.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Chargers and Steelers are within 2 of each other for total defense. So, right now, if it was just their offenses versus each other's defenses, I don't know who would win between the Chargers and Steelers. So that might be a good point. But yeah, when it comes to this game, obviously the refs now with social media, we can see every bad call they make every game, and shockingly enough, they make a lot of bad calls every game.